Hello, my name is Dr ApeMan and I'm the sitting president of Polish Pala Rifle University, and in today's video I'm going to show you a basics for Pala Rifle versus Nidelf gameplay. First of all, I want to show you that playing Pala Rifle versus Nidelf it's possible, and Lemes, the strongest Pala Rifle player that exists, he took games from very famous opponents. He managed to beat Sonic, Kevin, Foggy, and Moon. And of course, I'm not saying that he can beat them often. But man, winning a game in Warcraft 3 versus Moon himself is a big accomplishment. Also, look at the MMR difference. It was a big achievement for Pala Rifle players. And Nidelf, of course, can play in very, very different ways. But I will present you the general rules that you need to follow in order to win versus Nidelf with Pala Rifle. This graph presents function of time and strength of Nidelf. So basically, when we start the game, Nidelf is pretty balanced. It has 5 food, so 5 workers, similar to other racers, as of course Undead has 3 acolytes, but 1 ghoul. Ghoul is like a 2 workers, so it's fine. It has the same amount of resources, and so on. But with every second, Nidelf is getting stronger and stronger. And when Demon Hunter goes out from the altar, I can say that Nidelf is pretty imbalanced, man. After that, he goes to Creep, the first camp with Ancient of War. Still Imba. Very fast creeping, very efficient creeping. Later, Demon Hunter is so oppressive. He often buys boots and stuff to just harass you and then go back immediately to the Moonwells. And if you think that your horror is over, then usually Naga comes to focus your units, your hero even more. But when Night Elf is going for bears, one base, the only slight opportunity to fight him opens up. So basically, after Night Elf tier 2, when he starts building lores, and this is what you see on the graph, from Imba, the power spike of Night Elf is dropping just a little bit to almost Imba, because it's very hard to still push the Night Elf. Remember, he has access to Demon Hunter, level 3 often, Naga, but he doesn't produce much units. So we have this very, very small window of opportunity to execute our timing. And if we are too late, as you can see, when he has access to bear adept training, can start casting rejuve. He's getting stronger because he's getting value from his new buildings, from the upgrades. And finally, when he reaches Bear Master, it's Imba again. And man, late game in solo versus Night Elf is very, very hard. It's impossible, and it's even breaking the imbalance ceiling. And when Night Elf has access to stuff, to Orb of Venom, this very efficient healing, only one person on this planet can stop the Night Elf, and it's Grubby. And he can't stop Night Elf in game, but he can suggest some balance changes to Blizzard. Like in the previous patch, Grubby was very vocal about nerfing Moonwelves, and Blizzard did it. And I'm not saying that he has a direct line of communication with Blizzard, but for sure they listen to his feedback, and he's not afraid to tell the truth about Night Elf. So Grubby, I have high hopes about you for your balanced suggestions for the next patch, and the entire Polish Pala Rifle University roots for you. So Godspeed, and you know what to do with them, okay? In this replay, I'm going to show you my game versus a strong Night Elf player that is experienced with playing versus Pala Rifle. And what he does is basically he tries to keep me inside my base forever. And in this game, he will succeed almost, but in the end, because I followed the rules to be patient, to know my timing strength, I managed to win, even though this game will look terrible at start. And of course, I made a few mistakes, even a big, two big mistakes, but I basically stayed in my base, and because I knew what to do late game, even with my sub-optimal micro, I managed to win this game, to my surprise, and that's why I'm trying to show you this game, for you to believe that it's possible. Let's go to the replay. So we are opening with 2 farm tech, because 2 farm tech is good versus Night Elf. We want our blood mage out fast. We want our timing to be sharp, to be precise. We want to attack him before he accumulates bears, before he goes back to being imbalanced, okay? We want to take our chance. And because I'm going to creep, because I'm going to fast tech, I'm going to creep the first camp without any militia. And that's why I'm opening with the altar trick. So you may remember that the idea is to make altar 1 tile above the trees, close to the big melee green camp that we can basically surround with trees, altar, and our rifleman and paladin. So the most important part about this build is to remember to make only 2 farms before stack, and we have farm number 1. Now it's time for farm number 2, and I would like to remind you that you need to pull 1 peasant from gold earlier to not wait for the first rifleman, which is really important to have the first rifleman fast with 2 farm tech, because you don't want to creep with militia, so you need to pull the ogre early, the monster early from the creep camp. We are starting our paladin, and basically now we are just wait. We will produce 1 additional peasant because we want to be at 18 foot. When we stop producing peasants, or on 21, we have when we have our rifleman in training, and basically we try to gather wood for tier 2 upgrade as fast as possible. And remember that after you tech, you power build a third farm, because you don't want to wait super long for rifleman number 3. Now, basically what you should do, and I will make a mistake here, you should put your paladin close to the altar on hold position, so he won't attack the ogre, and he will be ready to basically trap the ogre, and with the rifle you bait, okay, the camp by attacking the ogre warrior. And after single attack, you should go to your base between trees and altar. And look, small mistake, but this mistake will cost me basically 2 mana burns. Because in order to grab the item, I need to basically creep now for a long time. And I'm going for my tech, I'm making the farm, and I'm going to power build the farm. And look, item is not in my pocket yet, and while Demon Hunter approaches, I was trying to block him with a rifleman, but man, I'm taking too much damage now for nothing, and we check the item on Demon Hunter is the worst item for us, because any form of healing of Demon Hunter is scary. And now we need to work on our pensions, because we need to stay in our base basically for a long time. So we basically move out a little bit with rifles just to make sure that he's not creeping any camp. And yes, the waiting game begins. He has his timing to realize with bears. I have my timing to realize with blood mage, and in this moment it's not really worth it for a paladin, rifle player to trade HP with demon hunter, because demon hunter can just go back. And look, another mistake I made. I could leave this under altar opening, but for some reason I built a farm there, and now I cannot leave my base, and he knows that, and he blocked me with an invisible archer. And of course I can counter it with pulling militia here, so I won't be stuck forever, but because I can use lab during the night and reveal, but it allows him to creep the first green camp for free, and I cannot distract him. So do not close your base that early. Close your base around tier 2, not now. So I have been in this position before, so I have sent militia to the lab, but he saw it, he knows it, and he'll basically leave the archer, and now I can follow him. And of course, remember to go for +1 to make the farm number 4. And now I made a mistake because I thought oh, he's creeping probably maybe my expansion, and now he took me off guard. And during the game, I didn't know about his item, and I thought, okay, I can just force him back. But now look at this mistake. Creep is attacking my rifleman. I am focusing his demon hunter that has big potion of greater healing, and this looks awful. But you see that it's because of 2 of my mistakes, maybe even 3 now. But I won't give up, okay? I know my timing, maybe I made a mistake, okay? But don't give up easily, okay? Maybe he will make mistake. Now at least we can force his potion, right? And now I'm trying to run, and this rifleman is safe now. But my paladin and other rifleman is not. So I'm just running, and in this moment I'm thinking, okay, this looks so bad. What I have done, but you know what? I thought I have fast tech. Okay, maybe I would still try to execute my timing properly. And as you can see, I just TP out back. And now we are power building Arcane Sanctum because we want to have Priest in the early game to heal our Paladin. And because of so many mistakes, now I cannot really leave my base. If he shows up with a Naga and I'm out of position, he basically, yes, he lurks around like a shark, man. He's on the job, so I cannot leave my base. But because of that, he can just steal another big camp, okay? He can steal another big camp, but he's not doing it. Okay, he tries to basically harass me still. I think it's a mistake, and I'm using the defensive position in my base, no problem. So now I have a blood mage. He's scouting me. So I'm basically waiting for the priest, but I thought, okay, now I can just keep Paladin in the back. Paladin has a lot of mana. Look, I cancelled Siphon mana to be able to drain mana from Demon Hunter, even if he mana drains me for 50. So Blood Mage goes first, and now I decided to leave my base. Have you seen this early game, mid game, how hard it was to basically stay alive versus just tier 1 Night of Pressure? But I have a good news for you. Our timing, our window of opportunity opens up. And now we need to use our power spike to full potential because we have Blood Mage, we have a long rifles range, our +2 attack upgrade comes to life, we have casters ready, and we are pushing the Night Elf with full force, with even 2 workers or 3 workers, depends on your wood economy, to make a shop, to make arcane towers. Basically, it's all in. Either we win or lose in this every moment. And this is how usually we play versus Night Elf. So let's see if I'm able to execute the timing correctly. First priest is coming, and remember to put priest on the Paladin, so he will heal Paladin only, not any other units. You can even turn off the automatic healing and use the hotkey on Paladin, so the priest will heal Paladin until Paladin is full HP. And what is also important now, because I want to push him soon, look, I'm almost 50 food, right? So I'm going to his base, but it's too early, okay? My early game was bad, so I need to grab 1 camp to at least get level 2, and the best camp to grab is the shop, because I can buy heal scroll soon, or maybe even invul potion. And in order to be able to challenge him, I need to pull militia, okay? Because now I have enough wood, I don't need more wood, basically. I have almost all of my upgrades, and militia will help in this. So yes, I'm trying to focus Demon Hunter because now he has no healing. And to my surprise, this exchange doesn't look that bad. Okay, he was creeping, so he was low HP. I was AFK in my base, so healing with the priest. Okay, and look, I have militia. Maybe it was a little bit too late, but I didn't expect to meet him that early. And now we are grabbing a big camp, okay? And what is best, this camp has Gnoll Warden with 300 mana, so we basically are going to take all of the mana from the Gnoll Warden. Remember to turn off automatic slow from the Sork, because you don't want to slow down any creeps, it doesn't help you much. Priest is still healing the Paladin, and we are buying a heal scroll. Very, very, very important item. And look, I have 2 militia with me, my priest is coming, and yes, my +2/0 attack upgrade is on the way. And man, this is our timing. This is our window of opportunity. We cannot creep level 3, there is no time. If we follow to creep level 3, we will be like facing 4 bears in the master form. We don't want that. It's late, but it's not too late. So let's go. So yes, Paladin is almost full HP, that's nice. We are on 50 foot. We can bank some resources now. And what is important now, we still are going to focus Demon Hunter. We are going to immediately mana burn Demon Hunter. Because look, even though he mana drained me, because the mana drain process was already casted, it doesn't matter that I have 0 mana, okay? I can still suck the mana, and Paladin goes at the back, and I'm going to heal the Blood Mage from safety. Now remember to turn on or just cast manually slow from the Sork. I like to cast slow on a Demon Hunter. And wrong position on the Priest. And after the first breath, I'm going to use my heal scroll. And look, even though he has rejuve, right? His Demon Hunter is in a very defensive position, and he even went too greedy, and I will be able to kill this Demon Hunter. So a big micro mistake from him, but also big micro mistake by me by not building a shop. Because I have 2 AFK militia. But my focus on Demon Hunter paid off, and remember this entire early game how much harass I experienced from him. But because of this sharp timing, I was still able to push him. And of course, you may say, Soul, he made a big mistake. Okay, but he's 2050 MMR player. I never have been in 2050 MMR. My highest MMR ever on Warcraft 3 Champion was 2018 MMR, okay? So he's a better player on paper, and he knows how to play versus Pala Rifle. And sometimes in games, he writes to me some weird message like, "Why are you even trying? It's so over." But yet, I was managed to just kill his Demon Hunter because he went too greedy, okay? So even though I made mistake in the early game, he made mistake in the late game, okay? And that's what you should remember, okay? Practice your timing, even if you are going to lose, but practice your timing, try to do everything right, understand it, and maybe Night Elf will give you a present like that. But the game is not over. He has 1 bear on the battlefield, no more mana on the panda, and finally I'm starting to build the shop. And yes, try to micro better than I'm currently doing. We have priest on adept, but we don't have enough mana to dispel the rejuve, but this is looking pretty good. And now what I saw on Mr. Leon streams, Leon stream plays standard in human, but basically now when you have advantage, you don't really want to dive into the Night Elf base, maybe only if you can like kill a hero, but here you cannot kill a hero, so take things slow, okay? Remember about your macro, remember to start making, after the shop I will make 2 arcane towers and kill the important units. And in this situation the first important unit is Ancient of Lore, and later we'll get Moonwell, and the other Ancient of War. There is no time to kill the altar, in my opinion, because altar is in kind of defensive position and he can mass repair, right? So I don't want to try to kill the altar. Now we need to keep our shop safe. Maybe we can slow down a bear. And yes, this bear comes out, so we can try to focus it. He has decent micro, but made a mistake here. Still no mana to redo, to dispel the redo. And yes, try to not make many mistakes. Okay, now this bear is an easy target because it's been slowed. And yes, that looks pretty well. I managed to buy an item from the shop. This was a little bit weird, but because I used healing and mana regen, I decided to pop the invul potion, which is not efficient at all. I do not recommend this, but what I do recommend is to make towers, okay? Because those towers will really help you. And because you don't have a lumber mill, you will make 2 arcane towers at start, of course. You can start making guard towers, but man, like every bear has some starting mana. I know that you can drain the mana, but it's not that easy, so arcane towers are not that bad. And my opponent is just waiting for Demon Hunter to come out, but the snowball effect, we are starting to get too much. We have access to shop, we have mana, we are mana draining him. Like, he cannot really challenge us. He will try one more time. I don't judge him for that because he's Night Elf. He's very strong, and he's playing just pure mass bears, of course. But yes, and now I can even banish the Demon Hunter, but I'm not doing it. My micro is a little bit sloppy here. So yeah, in the future, Soul, remember to banish Demon Hunter, especially when he's attacking. And now, like, he cannot kill a single unit. He's out of mana, I have casters, I have healing, I have shop, and I got the win. So it was a simple example of facing a Night Elf, but you saw how oppressive that Night Elf was and how many mistakes I did. And in the end, I managed to win because I followed those simple protocol. And in the future, I'm going to show you a different Night Elves, or maybe a game versus Night Elf where I'm not making that many mistakes. It should be easier, right? But I will show you Night Elves that is not going bears. It's going like 1 base mass archer. It's going 1 base lames with hippo archers and stuff like that. Night Elf that tries to expand, Night Elf that tries to lame, okay? There are many flavors to the Night Elf, but one thing is common between them, that late game Night Elf is very problematic to deal with. But it can be done. Mr. Lemes showed it on higher level. I can show you this on this little bit lower level, 2k MMR, 1900 MMR level. But what it matters is basically the game plan that I showed you clearly in this replay. It was Dr ApeMan, sitting president of Polish Polar Rifle University. I'm trying to produce daily content now, so subscribe to the YouTube channel, and from time to time I'm streaming on Twitch, which is also Dr ApeMan. Thank you for watching. I hope you had fun, and let's make Polar Rifle great. Bye bye, guys.